Tennessee Titans continue to beef up their receiving core by signing former Bengals wide receiver Tyler Boyd to a one-year contract worth $4.5 million per ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. It's another weapon for second-year quarterback Will Levis, and one who knows this offense very well after spending 5 seasons in Cincinnati in Brian Callahan's system. And this continues a very busy offseason for the Tennessee Titans. You see the additions there. They added another wide receiver in Calvin Ridley, who had over 1,000 yards for AFC South rival Jacksonville last season. Not too shabby of a receiver trio behind with Ridley, Boyd, and DeAndre Hopkins. Tennessee also moving out Derrick Henry in free agency, replacing him with running back Tony Pollard. And on defense, Titans added cornerback L'Jarius Sneed in a trade with the Kansas City Chiefs. So, Graz, we know they've made a lot of these moves with the investment to build around Will Levis in year 2. What have you heard about how they view their young quarterback?
Yeah, I think, Courtney, they see a lot of upside with Will Levis, and they believe that last year he showed flashes of his potential. But obviously it's still too soon in his career to know for sure, can this be the long-term franchise quarterback? So I think their plan this offseason was to surround him with the best possible group so that he could show them, so he could help answer those questions. Only fair to provide him with good protection and good weapons if you're going to make a judgment on him in terms of your long-term. So I think this year is something of an audition for Will Levis. It's possible they get to the end of it and think they may have to look elsewhere, but they wanted to give him the best possible chance to show how good he can be before they make that judgment.
Certainly helps when you have an upgraded group around you. And Acho, that's where I want to go next here. Knowing the additions that they've made, how much confidence do you have in Levis being able to show he's the guy with these new weapons?
Yeah, my confidence is still low in Will Levis, and some of that's based off of what I saw statistically, but also some of that is based off of what we saw just from what was around him. Last year, Will Levis, I think in the Texans game in week 14 or so, got sacked 7 different times. So what do you do in the offseason? You go and you address it. You go and get Lloyd Cushenberry. You go and get J.C. Latham in the draft. And so hopefully that will help. But no matter how many weapons are put around you, either if you're holding on to the ball too long, you can't get the ball to those weapons, doesn't matter who is at receiver, or your slot receiver, or your X, or it doesn't matter. And so for me, I think that the jury is definitely still out. But the benefit is this: at least you're building from the inside out. Whether Will Levis proves he can do it now or not, you have the pieces on the outside and on the offensive line now.
Yeah, and Acho, when you talk about those pieces, let's give Rand Carthon, the GM, a shout out, because he's kind of transformed this roster from last year to this, where they got talent everywhere on this roster. So you got to give Rand Carthon a huge shout out, because he has put the onus on Will Levis. I don't want to talk about no mayonnaise in the coffee. I don't want to talk about some of these eating habits you had. Here's what I want to talk about Will Levis. You got playmakers everywhere on the field. You went and got Lloyd Cushenberry, Rand Carthon did. You got J.C. Latham, who I think was the best right tackle in the draft. So there are pieces there now. The onus falls on Will Levis. Can you get it done? No longer are you a rookie. You got your feet wet last year. Can you come out this year and have a better season and more production? We know he's tough. We know he's physically gifted, but can you do what the quarterback position is required to do? Can you distribute the football from the pocket? Ultimately, that's going to be a key. I like Acho. I still need to see more, because if you are going to figure out if he's your franchise quarterback, you have to do it this year. If not, the cycle starts over for the Tennessee Titans.
We're talking Fitz, we're talking Manning. I love it. We're off to a roaring start here on NFL Live. The Titans know that they need to protect Will Levis. As you saw, he's got a new left tackle there. 7th overall pick in J.C. Latham. The Titans allowed a sack rate, which was the 2nd highest in the NFL last season.